What up, YouTubers? Time for a little layout update. Everybody's been asking for it. Finally found the charger to my camera's battery. So, I guess I can tell you what all I've been doing. Dragged this old little cheap plastic rack in here to put all my tools and junk in. Make it a little easier than just kind of having it spread out all over the floor. So, anyways, just some stuff. Got all my boxes and some more tools down there. As for the layout itself, finally cleaned the carpet. I had to vacuum for like 2,500 hours. Don't you love that nice puke green? Sweet! As for the layout, I've been, I haven't really gotten too much done. Working on the mount. That top piece is just kind of set there because it kind of fit. But I'm going to trim it back and start angling it back because it's starting to get, otherwise it'll be halfway up to the ceiling by the time it's all said and done. But I finished the second inner loop, so that was nice. I also bought some more switches, so I'm able to finish everything. I have 3 more switches. Problem is, my original plan was to run one right here and have it curve off so it'll reach straight into the roundhouse, or the turntable, sorry. And then I was going to have another switch right here that would come off and go that way. But with it being straight, it's too tight of a turn for it to line up with this, and I eventually want to run some steam engines on this, and just a little worried about it being too tight, so might have to figure out something else to do. I did also have a few switches that didn't have little magnetic controllers, so I bought a bunch of those to get those in. Some of them were really hard, like this one and this one, because I had to go through, you know, 4 or 5 inches of foam, 4.5 inches I think. And to do that, I dug out an old drill bit I had that's, I don't know what the hell this was for. It was my dad's, and whatever he was drilling, but it came in handy. So I'm glad he bought it. What else? Oh, I did start a little cave scene down in there. I'm going to have from the front some kids crawling in, and probably use some fiber optics to make little flashlights in their hands aiming in there. That's going to be a real kind of challenge to get in there and paint it all, but still pretty cool. What else? So did a couple little pieces of foam right there and started on this one. This will continue to go down and I'll curve off all the top. That mount's just going to be a pain. It's going to be a mess, so I might break down and buy one of those little foam melters. Did take a first stab at a building. I got one of these little Pikeville or whatever it's called. It was like 13 bucks, but it was pretty neat. It gave me a chance to kind of get my hands dirty in building structures. It was this blue stuff was actually really hard to cut. It doesn't come with the doors already in it or anything like that, so I had to cut all those items in there. But overall, I'm kind of impressed how it turned out. Still need to obviously paint it and weather it and the whole 9 yards. What else have I been doing? Oh, I brought this lamp up. This was my great-grandfather's, which I thought was cool. He had it in his train room. I think that he had a bunch of old Lionel stuff and some HO, which I actually have. It's at my mom's house in Nashville. At some point I'll go get it. Ridiculous amount of switches here. I'm up to 10, but I actually have 13 switches. Again, 3 of which are sitting down over here. And what else? That's pretty much it. And by the way, do save all your foam scraps because you will end up using it in odd places that you never thought you would. So yeah, I guess I'll... Charlie, you were asking what kind of switches I use. They're 540 and I think 541 Atlas Code 83. As you can see, they're look kind of... Here's somebody calling me in the background. You can see, I don't know what radius that is. It might be 18 or 20, probably 18. But it gets everything done that I need it to for this small of a layout. Obviously, if I had a larger one, or if I had decided to fill up the entire room and not want to walk in there, you know, something that big, then yeah, I probably would have used some wider switches, but they're readily available. So that is what I used. Everything's Code 83. The color all does match. It's all brown. I do hate all the little white glue stuff that you can see in between, but I'll cut all that out. That won't be that bad. And for the flex track, you can see all the areas that I haven't put in the extra ties. There's a lot of them around here. I think there's a biggest section is right over here where I had to. You see, I tried to overlap some of it because it doesn't line up perfectly. Again, once I solder this, I can push it into place and it'll line up a little better, but so far no derailments. Tried to avoid all of these gaps as much as possible, but you know, they're gonna happen. But I tried to overlap them so there wasn't just a direct kink. It's kind of spread out over a small area to lessen the likeliness of a derailment. Also want to give everybody a kind of idea, I guess for everybody that's starting, how many wires are going to be underneath this thing. Obviously I'm going to be drilling holes through all these pieces so they can disconnect from each other, and I'll have some disconnect plugs, but I don't know if you can see it all, but a lot of these are for switches. I got a lot of rail terminals going all the way around, turntable. So you got 13 switches, 3 wires each, and then all of these leads for the tracks on 2 lines. And I did those about every 3 or 4 feet just so I would have a good conductivity. Just kind of give you an idea of how much wiring you can expect to do. Sounds like fun. No. I forgot, some of you have asked what I do about a derailment back there. I can't remember if I've showed it or not, but as you can see, lost a car there. What I have to do is get down here, crawl through my maze of stuff to the back corner, and reach my grubby paws up here and move everything back until I can get to my culprit, which is this guy. And that's it.